Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India Designate, all my esteemed brother and sister judges from the Supreme Court, Honorable former judges of the Supreme Court, Justice B.N. Agarwal and Justice Gopal Gowda. I shared the bench with Justice Gopal Gowda for, I think, 2 terms, maybe 6 to 7 months. Honorable Attorney General for India, Honorable Solicitor General of India, President, Vice President, and other office bearers of the Supreme Court Bar Association, President and other office bearers of Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association, the learned law officers, learned senior advocates, all the junior members of the bar, some of my own chamber juniors are also here, my family members, my wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, everybody who is present here, it's to you, ladies and gentlemen. As I stand before you, I remember certain promises which I made when I took over as Chief Justice of India. And I said that I will try to streamline the listing patterns. I will see that there is at least one constitution bench functioning all through. I will see that regular matters are listed at an expedited date. Is the mentioning part. I must say, to a certain extent, I have been able to fulfill those promises. During my tenure, that is to starting from the first day that I took over till today, we have been able to dispose of more than 10,000 matters. In addition, we have also disposed of about 13,000 matters which were lying in defect for several years, but they were simply being maintained on the file. So 10,000 actual disposal as against the filing, which is about 8,700. If fresh filing is about 8,700, then mathematical calculation, about 1,300 matters are disposed of more than the filing, which means that to a certain extent we have been able to take the slice out of the arrears, the mounting arrears. At the same time, on my first day after being sworn in, I had a full court meeting with all my colleagues. That time we started with strength of 30 judges as against sanctioned strength of 34. Today we are 28, tomorrow we may be 27. So I just divided 30 by number 5 and said there are 6 constitution benches possible. So 1 to 6, we decided that all 30 judges will be part of some constitution bench or the other. And in the shortest possible time, we could have these 6 benches rolling. The first bench, which was Justice Indira Banerjee's bench, Justice Banerjee was to retire in 23 days' time. I told her that start off, let us see if you are able to finish something. And not only did they hear the matter, they delivered the judgment, so therefore that's something which came out true. The second bench, which was mine, we delivered the judgment today after extensive hearing for about 3.5 weeks. The other 4 benches are rolling. They have also, Justice Kaul's bench has finished 4 final hearing matters. They are on to the 5th matter now. Judgments are reserved. This is what I thought, that this court has to have at least one constitution bench functioning all through. And I must say, on a particular day, there were 3 constitution benches in courts 1, 2, and 3 simultaneously functioning. And that's when we started our live streaming. We also started 3 judge combinations. There are about, the day I took over, about 55 death reference matters, out of which, because death matters nowadays, after the judgment of Justice Nariman in that Muhammad Arif, have to be listed before bench of 3 judges. So we listed matters, 4 matters through with the hearing, 2 judgments delivered, 2 CAV as of now, apart from other various matters which are 3 judge combinations. All this is possible, or rather was possible, only because of, number 1, tremendous amount of support from my brother and sister judges. And equal support from the bar. I know I made certain demands. Demands were slightly tough. Matters were getting listed, perhaps at a shorter notice. But everybody rose to the occasion, and with, as if it was on a mission mode, that we have been able to accomplish this. I'm extremely thankful to all my colleagues on the bench, all the learned advocates who have been party to this entire enterprise, which I consider, and I am deeply indebted to every one of you. Coming back to, and this is my farewell, so therefore let me just tell you what my journey has been. I have spent 37 years in the Supreme Court. "31 years, or rather 29 years as the advocate, as a lawyer, and last 8 years as judge of the court. It has been a very fulfilling journey, very satisfying journey. I remember the first day that I said this in the afternoon when we rose from the bench, that I came to mention a matter before the then Chief Justice, and that was my first appearance in Supreme Court. I mentioned the matter to get it listed, and the then Chief Justice was Justice Y.V. Chandrachud. So that was my first day, and I said in the afternoon that I am passing on the baton which I received through successive Chief Justices onto the son of that illustrious Chief Justice. My first brush with the Supreme Court was when my father brought me to Supreme Court to say that hear this matter, which was in re-special courts. Again, court number 1, Chandrachud Justice Chandrachud presiding. So it has been a very excellent relationship, as Mr. Vikas Singh said. My father had a tenure of just about 2 years as a judge. And when the news came that his term is going to expire, I had never seen my father as a judge, nor had I attended his swearing in. So I said, let me just go and see you. How does my father look as a judge on the bench? And that was the last day of my father as a judge, and I went to the court. And I saw the hustle bustle, I saw the lawyers, the way they addressed, the way the judges. I said, this is where I would like to be. And that's what started off as a journey. The relationship with Chief Justice Chandrachud, Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud narrated, and the incident what he said, that you must read only so much as would enable you to meet the lawyer, was an advice given by Senior Justice Chandrachud himself. I had the fortune of being educated at two places in school, Solapur and Mumbai. I'm fortunate to have had the benefit of best of the teachers who inculcated everything what I today represent and stand for. I must say that my grandparents had deepest influence on me. My grandfather was an associate of Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He started as a lawyer at place in Solapur in 1920. My grandmother was the first lady doctor of Solapur. And as I say, that after her, nobody has worn white apron or white coat in our family. Everybody is only black coat here. So that's where I started. I have the great fortune and privilege of being son to excellent parents who have been kind to me, who have always been supportive of me, who have always given me every support and spared no efforts to see that their child, their son, grows up in the best possible surroundings. I had the love of siblings. I'm fortunate to have the love of my wife, my two sons, two daughters-in-law, and anybody and everybody who is near and dear to me. That's on the personal front. On professional front, I started my life in the chambers of Mr. M.A. Rane at Mumbai. Did about 2 years and then shifted here. And I remember exactly that on a particular day when I joined Mr. Parekh's chamber, he was my first guru here in Delhi. Indu Malhotra was already there in the chamber, so therefore she has been, the association has been there since 1985-86. Some of my friends are at every walk, at every stage in life. I have been fortunate to have many friends who have given tremendous amount of support, love to me, and have always encouraged me. The senior members like Mr. Javli, I did my first final hearing against him, arguing against him. So therefore, every one of you who is sitting here has some association or other at various stages in my life. My chamber juniors, they have always been looking up to me and supporting me. So therefore, this journey of 37 years in this court has been made possible and has been made easier and smoother as a result of everybody's support, blessings of elders, and at the same time, joyous understanding and being with me all the while. At times what you feel is that your work, your profession is so demanding that you need to spare time and give it to that profession. As they say, law is a jealous mistress. So she demands time every time. And who are the casualties? The casualties are your family members. I still recollect the foreword and the dedication given by Mr. Sirvai, H.M. Sirvai, in one of his books on Constitution. The dedication goes like this. I don't remember the exact expression, but what he said was, he dedicates the book to his wife and children and says that it is to them. Why? Because they gave me that time which was rightfully theirs. And I must say that at every juncture, wherever I have gone out of the way to make an endeavor, it is the family time which has been the first casualty. And my family has always supported me, has always given me everything. When I was in charge of NALSA, I covered about 16 states. At every juncture, my wife was with me. So the kind of journeys that we have had through, say, Leh Ladakh area, it was physically arduous, but my wife always stood like a support of strength behind me. The greatest influence on the professional side on me has been my senior, Sorabji. I joined Mr. Sorabji sometime in October 1986 after having spent about 10 months in the chambers of Mr. Sorabji. 5.5 years in his chamber. Seeing all kinds of matters which were like Bommai, which is dissolution of assembly, matters which were Union Carbide review. Tremendous amount of energy which was flowing in every time, and the kind of matters which was the everyday's cup of tea, where otherwise would have been very, very difficult for any lesser mortal. But that man had the capacity, and he inculcated in us, all the chamber juniors, the habit to work steadfastly, concentrate on what the matter is, forgetting what would be the other courses and forces operating, and concentrate purely and pure on the matter.